Hi guys, welcome to yet another video. It's Ndagira here. Thanks for clicking on this video. We're going to be talking about something that is actually currently happening in South Africa right now, and that is a plane that actually came from Palestine and came to OZ airport in South Africa.
We're playing you out with those visuals from inside a chartered flight that's at OR Tambo International Airport carrying Palestinian refugees. They arrived this morning at around about 8:30 this morning. Of course, devastating scenes we saw there early on when we were speaking to one of the passengers. In fact, one of the passengers is pregnant, we understand, and had to take medication. She is at a sensitive stage, as we were told a little bit earlier on by Nigel. Those boxes there carrying food arriving there just over an hour ago, I believe, from the Gift of the Givers. They managed to secure this agreement with the South African government, particularly DIRCO. But the problem is the reason that most of those passengers are still in the plane. Most of them did not get exit stamps from Israel, we understand, as we were told. So that then further creates those complexities. But we do understand that Gift of the Givers is in communication with DIRCO as well as Home Affairs. That, of course, is information we'll continue to give you right here on the channel with other shows as they come to. But devastating scenes at OR Tambo International Airport.
A lot of people are questioning, like, wait a minute, how come we are able to bring in people that don't even have documents, and how do we go around that? You know, because most of the time I've seen and shared a lot of videos of South Africans literally chasing away other African people, saying they don't have documents, saying they are illegal, they should not be in South Africa. And some of those people actually also come from African countries that are in war zones, right? But then now we are having a group of people that are non-African that, you know, came to South Africa, and the president of South Africa is actually allowing that to happen.
Yesterday we had a plane of 160, we're carrying 160 Palestinians landing at OR Tambo, and these are people from Gaza who somehow mysteriously were put on a plane that passed by Nairobi and came here. And I got to hear about it from my Minister of Home Affairs, wanting to know, what do we do now? And I said, we cannot turn them back. Even though they do not have the necessary documents and papers, these are people from a strife-torn, a war-torn country. And out of compassion, out of empathy, we must receive them and be able to deal with the situation that they are facing. And it does seem like they were being, flushed out. We will get the details later, but from a humanitarian point of view, we could not return them from whence they have come, and we had to accept them, and they are now here, and we are going to be processing everything about them and then deciding precisely what needs to be done.
These people are coming without documents, like you don't even know if they are right or wrong, but just because they say, oh, I'm from Palestine, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but it's just insane how this situation is being handled. I mean, even the president is saying, like I said, that, they are going to let them in. But how does that go about when it comes to other people, especially other African, people that go to South Africa without documents, even though they also might be coming from countries that are from war zone, that are in a war zone. But hey, guys, listen to what also people are saying about this whole situation and what, the plane is all about, how, these Palestinians were in fear for their lives. Like, I mean, it's just so wild at this time. And yeah, come back, let me know your thoughts on it.
In case you hadn't heard already, there was a plane that arrived yesterday at OR Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg, which was carrying, I think the number is 153 Palestinians from Gaza or Gaza. These people are not documented. Their passports are not stamped. I don't even know if they have passports. It seems that they were chased out by the Israelis without paperwork, and they landed at OR Tambo. Home Affairs went and contacted the Department of, I think, International Relations, I think led by Ronald Lamula, if I'm not mistaken, to waive the requirements of them needing paperwork to get into South Africa and the country. I think about 23 of them have moved on to other countries. The rest are here in South Africa. Imtiaz Suleiman, the leader of Gift of the Givers, is one of the people that's assisting with these guys with humanitarian aid, food and the likes. And it seems like everyone is, at least at the highest levels, is sort of okay with Palestinians being here illegally. So they traveled illegally. They landed here illegally, but South Africa and the South African government are saying, sharp, sharp, you guys can stay here, it's okay. There's a reason probably why Thabo Mbeki said to Mboiseni Ndlozi that you can't stop illegal foreigners coming into South Africa, specifically Africans at the time. But I'm reminded, and I try my best to not get triggered and emotional about South Africa and South African politics. I'm reminded that this country does not belong to the citizens. Where organizations like Operation Dudula, March and March, led by Jacinta Ngobese Zuma, are trying to kick out undocumented illegal foreigners in South Africa, the government at the highest level seems to not have a problem bringing in even more undocumented illegal foreigners into South Africa, claiming that they are asylum seekers and refugees. If you ever have a moment, please go onto the world map and look at where Palestine is, and then look at all the Arab countries around it. Look at maybe even all the African countries around it. Palestine is incredibly far from South Africa. Why would they come here? I start thinking about the ICJ case. I start thinking about the accusations that the ANC is funded by Iran. I start thinking about I'm forgetting the name now. But the idea that, no, I start thinking about Manali Dipando. This country clearly is a playground for any international interests who probably just pay anyone in the ANC or anyone in the DA to allow them to do whatever they want here. It's the reason why we have drug mafias. It's the reason why we have Eastern European gang leaders and drug lords here. It's the reason we have so many Zimbabweans, Mozambicans. It's the reason Israelis can buy property in Cape Town easily, why the Arabs can buy land in the Eastern Cape so easily. It's a party. We have Bangladeshis, we have Pakistanis, we have Sri Lankans, we have Ethiopians, Somalians, we have Nigerians. We literally have people from all over the world who come here and do as they please. And when ordinary South African citizens who are lied to and told that the Constitution serves them and told that we respect South African law, when they cry out, NPOs come running, government comes running, and they say, no, human rights, no, the Constitution protects everyone who lives in it. It doesn't matter if people are undocumented. It doesn't matter if people are criminals. It doesn't matter if there's issues. Abo Pastor Bushiri get to do whatever the hell they want here. I'm just raising this again because if you hadn't heard, there are over 150 Palestinians that landed illegally at the South African airport OR Tambo. You have to ask who okayed and cleared for them to land. Without paperwork, many of the NPOs or some of the NPOs and governments at the highest levels gave them a green light to say, you guys can land and you guys can come out. And we'll take care of you and we'll sort you out. When they could have gone to any other country in the Middle East, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, they could have gone to parts of Asia, India, they could have gone to other parts of Africa, but they came to South Africa because this country is not designed to serve the citizens. I keep posting on Twitter, South Africa is a company. South Africa is a company and it is not owned by you, the ordinary voter. It is owned by the wealthy, particularly the Oppenheimers, who are a proxy for the UK and America, the Ruperts as well, and many others. This country doesn't belong to you, and we're reminded almost every day, every week, that the South African government, the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, who's constantly AWOL and constantly shocked at things, this country is not here to serve you. And I think more than anything, they keep gaslighting the citizens to say, let's see how far we'll push you before you guys really revolt against government and revolt against the rich that fund the government from all parts of the world. Maybe it makes sense now why Donald Trump, Rubio, I think Marco Rubio is his name, why they said they're not coming to South Africa to the G20. Why the president of Argentina, Milei, is also not coming to South Africa, because it's getting clear that this country is a free-for-all for any international body, legal or illegal or however set up, to say, go to South Africa, they can sort you out. They'll speak about human rights and the like. And who knows, there's probably a lot of people that are getting money in their back pockets behind closed doors. Very scary stuff, but we're here now.
There's no way, guys. There's no way. 160 people can land OR Tambo. When I'm a Palestinian, I land OR Tambo. 160 of them, guys. And I'm a passport wabo. They were not stamped by Ama Israel. So apparently, these people, they flew from Israel and then to South Africa in the east of Africa, and then they took a connecting flight to South Africa. There's no way, guys. Guti is South Africa. Like it's gonna allow each and every person guti as and the footy as and now the government, they are saying guti they want to allow those people people, actually they have granted them refugee status, the asylum seekers, which they can stay in South Africa. There's no way, guys, with 660 people can come to South Africa, go be government yet. They know nothing about this. Let South Africa be just open, go be a quarantine country because of Kakomba. Like anything that is so useless, or any person low of South Africa, even Anganama paper, they just come here. There's no way, guys.
As you can see, there's a stock up of the diapers for the kids. There's Zahira Bamismal here. Zahira, assalamu alaikum.
How are you guys doing?
I'm well, jazakallah so much. I mean, just for our listeners, can you give a bit of background where we are currently, what you know, because I think information is a bit sketchy right now regarding the plane, the Palestinians. What's the latest?
So at the moment, we know the flight's been here since early this morning. No one has been allowed, well, up until a later time this afternoon, no one was allowed off the flight at all. Ventilation's exceptionally poor. We've got young kids, we've got pregnant women on this flight. They've had no food. Thankfully, we had a bit of a humanitarian break where they got to, off the flight, managed to go to the bathrooms. So they've since been back on the flight. We've arranged for diapers to get onto the flight for the kids, and a lot of food that is coming.
Towards the food. So we're going to be walking towards the food. As you can see, there's a trolley of water, a trolley of food.
We've got food for everyone to be able to eat something, because no one has been able to have any access to food. So at least we've managed to get this on. Our social worker Nigel is on the flight, sitting on the flight with the passengers, and we're hoping to update you as the evening progresses. But we're hoping, inshallah, to get some sort of a response and some sort of positive feedback soon.
And to South Africans that are watching, that want to support, how can they go about it? What assistance do you guys still need?
Everything. I think it's very overwhelming now. Right now, we need to make sure there's a humanitarian corridor to be able to ensure that these people are treated with dignity. They've literally come out of a genocide. There has to be some form of dignity to be able to treat them and to be able to allow them access where we're able to assist. There's so much happening behind the scenes. We're so thankful to Gift of the Givers and all the other civil organizations who've come on board to help us. But we really need as many people as we can get to come on board, to come and help us, come and make your voices heard, share this, and let's make sure these people are treated with dignity.
Jazakallah so much. There you have it. We're still here at the OR International Airport. As you can see, food and water finally getting into the flight. There's also a supply of nappies to the children. I mean, there's a number of young children with their mothers who haven't had a change of nappies for hours on end now, haven't had water, haven't had any kind of food right here in South Africa. So this is a story that we'll continue following quite closely. Keep it tuned to Salam Media as we continue giving you the latest regarding this one.
Okay, it's sad that I'm seeing these people, in fear for their lives, and we can all see what Israel is really doing to them in their own country. Of course, they have to, look for ways to go and, look for places for safety. But the question, a lot of people are asking in the comments that I read, like, okay, Egypt is next to Palestine. Why didn't they go there? There's a lot of other countries, Arab nations as well, that could literally take in these people because, they are Muslim, right? Why aren't they taking them in? Why do they have to still bring them into the continent of Africa? And it just shows that, we are the ones that always receive the ones that are not wanted. I'm sorry to use that word. But even when those people come into our nations, the issue is not even receiving those people to come into the continent and all that. The issue is when they come, they still think they are above us. And that's the biggest issue that we actually have. I'm pretty much sure in the near future, after these people have been allowed to come and live in South Africa, trust me not, they are going to be the same people to now start oppressing black South Africans. Me, I'm mostly concerned about the Africans. Even though South Africans or black South Africans can be really rude to other Africans, I will still advocate for them. I'm pretty much sure, and I'm stating this, and you guys will quote me in the near future, these people that they are actually bringing in are now going to be supported by the government, are now going to be given things, for them to settle into South Africa. They are probably going to be given housing, health insurance or health access. They are going to, bring their families and be given education. They are literally going to now assimilate and, of course, enjoy South Africa. But are they going to steal or are they going to respect the indigenous people? Those are African people in that country. That is my only question. Like, yeah, it might seem like, yes, you're helping. Well, like you can help someone and then they turn back and bite you. We have that saying in my country. So that's what I'm really mostly worried about, and what also some other South Africans are worried about. Like, what do you mean? There's other places that these people could have gone. Why South Africa? And remember, South Africa is also the same place where I shared videos of a lot of JEWS people that were coming in to settle in South Africa, and they actually wanted to kind of take over Cape Town, or they want to still take over Cape Town. And South Africans came out and complained that they can't even access some places because most of the developments are taken over by the people of JEW, or as I call them, blue and white flag people from Israel. So I wonder how that is going to turn out in South Africa. Are Black South Africans still going to be seen as worthy, or now that these ones that are coming in are now still going to be the ones favored? Because at the end of the day, before an African face is given anything positive or anything good, yeah, some other people just come in and take all the privilege, and it's just so annoying at this point. I'm not saying we shouldn't help, and I do understand South Africa has always been advocating for Palestine for a very, very long time. I mean, they also took Israel in court, in the international court, if I'm not mistaken about that. But with all the countries that are Muslim, especially Muslim countries, why aren't they taking in their people? Like, why aren't they taking in people that, you know, they say we are brother and sister? Like, why isn't that happening? Why are they choosing, you know, Africa or a nation that is not really that Muslim? If that makes sense, like, what is going on? And why is the president letting this slide? Because if you are letting this slide, that means you're opening a gateway for everybody else that feels like, you know what, okay, I'm not settled in my country. I feel like I'm not comfortable in my country and there's a war zone. So I should probably just get on a flight without any document and go to South Africa because I'll be taken in. That is what is happening. But the question also comes in, if South Africans were the ones that just got on a plane, went to Palestine or went to other nations without documents, would they be allowed to, you know, be accommodated? Would they be accepted in? Would they be loved and welcomed like the way these people are being welcomed in? Yes, I know there's trauma involved. I know this is life that needs to be saved. Why Africa? Why in Africa?
How did they find themselves here in South Africa, and what's the latest? And I'm sure you can give us that information.
Essentially, there's an organization called Al-Majd, which is linked to the Israelis, which has been charging people and promising to get them out of Gaza. So what happened, for example, with this flight and the previous one, people were called on a particular night and told tomorrow morning the buses will be ready for you. Next morning they went to the bus, they were told you can only take a rucksack, nothing else. Where they were then taken across into Israel. On the Israeli side, they were told that they can't have rucksacks either. All they're allowed is a cell phone, passport, and some money, some cash. Then they were taken to the Ramon military Air Force base in Israel. They were put onto a chartered flight, no exit stamp. They were put onto a chartered flight, ended up in Nairobi, then put onto another chartered flight, and then ended up in Johannesburg. In both cases, people were actually not told where they're going to end up. Some of them believed that they were going to Indonesia, some to Malaysia, etc. On this flight, I know two people who were given booking documents for accommodation. And the one was a hotel in Mumbai in India. The other one was a hotel in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. And so they had no clue where they're going until they landed here and they told they were in Johannesburg. The last flight people came in, they were stamped and came in. The problem, of course, is that all of them, in the last flight and this one, they have no exit stamp. And technically, no country will accept you if you don't have an exit stamp from somewhere else. So they had no exit stamp, they arrived here, and border management this time decided to take a hard line. Unfortunately, many of the people said that they're visiting South Africa. And so if you're a tourist, you need an exit stamp, you need a return ticket, you need accommodation booked in your name. They didn't have any of those. And so border management said that they're not going to allow them in. At some point later, they then said that they want to apply for asylum. By that time, border management said that this is very difficult. You already said one thing, now you're saying another. And the Minister of Home Affairs refused to sign off on allowing them in. So right until about half an hour ago, the situation was that they were going to, the flight they were on would have to go back to Nairobi with them on it. And if they got to Nairobi, it would be a humanitarian crisis. The Kenyans would not let them in. It would really be a crisis, and it would be an embarrassment for South Africa. So just about an hour ago, the president decided that they would be allowed in. So they will all be coming through. They're being processed now in about 2 hours. The Minister of Home Affairs has to sign it, and in about 2 hours they'll all be coming out. And then we will look at them, those who want to get asylum in South Africa, etc. And the group of organizations that's working together on this is arranging transport for them to get to the hotels that have been booked for them for 7 days, and then arranging other accommodation. So these organizations have come together. The previous lot of people, there's accommodation for all of them, food, medical services available for them all, needs assessments done, etc. And all of that will be done for this group as well.
Do we know under what conditions are they being let into the country? Is it, as you said, is it asylum? Is it a leeway, special kind of?
So we've been made to understand that they will all be allowed in. Now let me just say that some of them are leaving. Mm-hmm. So a group of about 14 left this morning as well, some going to Egypt, some wherever. But the rest who are coming in, they will come in and they will then be able to decide whether they want asylum or not. That's what we've been made to understand.
Let's talk about the conditions, in the plane. You've been there almost the whole day. Just take us through, that moment. What did you witness? What were the conditions like? Were they really welcomed into South Africa with warm hands, as we're made to believe?
So we got onto the plane after midday. In the morning, this was a plane that was full of people, and it was getting very hot. They were complaining. We were in touch with some of the people on the plane. And then at some point the police instructed that the doors should be taken out, etc., and that they should be given water, air supply, and all of that. When we got on, it was mid-afternoon, not mid-afternoon, early afternoon. It was extremely hot, and 160 people in one plane, almost full. It was really hot. It was difficult. The kids were all screaming, etc.
The Israelis in South Africa, now Palestinians are coming in South Africa. South Africans are also chasing away other people. There's white people in South Africa. It's like a melting pot of everybody else, but still who is not benefiting? A black person. And that's what really hurts me to see when I see them chase other African people away from South Africa. I'm like, guys, other African people are the least of your problems. These Palestinians that are actually coming into South Africa are going to get more access to things than you, who's a black South African that is actually worried about a Ugandan in South Africa, that is worried about a Kenyan, that is worried about a Zimbabwean, that is worried about a person from Namibia being in South Africa. Let's put effort to the right kinds of people, and that is palmed people that control most of the things in the country, to the Israelis that actually came and now are taking over most of the things now, and now Palestinians are coming in. Guess what are they going to do? Be in better places, better positions, better things really than you as a black South African. I wish that could sink in, and we put the right energy at the right people. And yeah, this is the Africa that we live in now. We're just taking everybody, and they can even come in without documents and it's okay. But is it allowed? Are you able to do that as an African in another person's country, especially when it comes to people that are not black or African? Can that happen? Guys, let me know. Those are my opinions. You've heard what people had to say about this. I just can't add on this. It's just so, it is kind of, yeah, it is. It's kind of hard to balance, I would say. It's hard to digest, if I'm to put it right. It's really kind of hard to digest how we let these things keep on happening, and then we turn out and cry about our own decisions that we've actually made to, turn out and hurt us. Because I'm pretty sure, like I said, in the near future, we are going to see South Africans, especially the black ones, complain that they are on the receiving end of everything bad than everybody else. That's just facts. That's just facts. Guys, that is it for me today's video. Let me know what you think about this. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be a bad person. I'm not trying to be like, these people should not be helped, but let's use the right measures. The same way African people are treated should be the same way these other groups of people should be treated when they come into African nations, no matter what circumstance, no matter where they are from. Let's use equality. Yeah, let's put equality, if that makes sense. Those are my opinions. I digress. Yeah, if anything is alleged, it's alleged, but I mean, let's watch the space. Guys, I'll see you in another video. Bye.